Right. Thank you. Right, so let's just go to the dashboard. This is the Multics dashboard. Okay, so everything we're doing today is within the Multics Talk chat room. So, John, where would you like me to go?
I might take it if you don't mind.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to give you.
Easier.
Okay. Yeah, that's much easier. Right.
Fantastic. All right. So when you log in, this is your homepage, and it will tell you brief analytics that you may or may not need to look at. What I always suggest to everybody is, first and foremost, have a look at any of the latest notifications in case they've popped up that you need to know about and read. And then the notifications will also appear here in the bottom left-hand side under the bell, so you can see what's been seen, what's been read. If you clear the notification, it doesn't clear it for your colleagues, because this is an agent-centric model, which means you log into your dashboard, but it's shared by other people. So you won't worry too much about having or clearing those things for other people. That's not a problem. And then, Will, you'll need to give me some direction here, because once you've set up your notifications, you've set them up. You don't need to do that every single day. But for the very first time that you come in and you start playing in the space, a couple of things is what I would suggest you would do is set up your profile. So in setting up your profile, as Will has done, you put your image here. And then from there, you've got an image that will appear in chat when you join the chat, which adds to the professionalism of incoming chats and dealing with customers as they have conversations. Okay. You can create things like multiple aliases for yourself if you wish, but that's obviously an internal conversation for whether or not the VAs will need to do that, Will, or whether you prefer to use their own avatar, their own alias. And then, again, it depends whether you want them to be using a profile page, but I would imagine if they're sitting in chat, they don't really need their own personal profile page so much, Will.
No, and what's going to happen as we move forward is every VA will have their own professional V card. All VAs start off with what we call a static V card, which is it's bargain basement, if you like. It's actually relatively ineffective, but we do it on purpose because there's a learning between going from static to dynamic. So what's going to happen is that each VA in the future will have their own dynamic V card with their contact details on, and also a phone site. In actual fact, the V card and the phone site will be the same thing. And what will happen is that connected to each VA will be more information. So as we move forward into specialisms and skill sets that develop, that will be plainly obvious to anybody who's come into the chat room as to what the VA skills are.
Got it.
So,
makes sense.
That can be automated. It's already automated off the website. So when you go to a particular page, at the moment it's directors, Michelle pops up, but in the future it would be VAs.
Fantastic. Got it. Okay. And then from here, setting up your notifications are important. You can set up desktop notifications so they fire across your screen and let you know when something is happening or something is coming in terms of a chat.
Can you turn that on? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And then you need to make sure that you're accepting chats from the Multic website. If that's off for whatever reasons, sometimes it's been set as off, any incoming chats won't be received by you. So it's important that A, you're online, and B, Multic is turned on here.
Right.
Next step is to manage your sound and notifications. So tell TAWK's dashboard how you want it to notify you when a chat comes in. At the moment, it's set the world's most annoying ringtone that will shake you when an incoming chat comes in, to make sure that you don't miss it. But you can change that to something more subtle, and you can change how many times it repeats before it just sounds or it just notifies on the left-hand side. So everything can be set. You can have a notification for new visitors that don't start a chat but appear on the site. You can have a notification when a new message is posted in the chat when you're conversing with a customer, so that if you've moved away from the screen waiting for the customer to respond because you're busy doing something else, at least it will notify you again when you need to know that that the chat is or that someone's replied to you. And then there are a couple of modifications here. So agent disconnect, if for whatever reason you disconnect, it will just let you know you need to refresh your dashboard, and new agent message there, same sort of thing. If you've got someone that's pinged you in the dashboard, then it will notify you. So you can set sound volume and also the sound that you want to hear when notifications are set. I would recommend that you set up a group, Will, between the VAs, especially if some of them are working together. And you may already have that actually with for newbies, where you add all groups. They know who is online, because in these groups, what it will typically tell you is the people that are online, and that's you and Michelle, and everyone else is invisible at the moment. So if someone is online, the beautiful thing is you can ping them and they'll be notified on the dashboard that someone's reached out to them. There's a message dropped in to the group. That might be for someone that's very new, reaching out to someone who has a bit more experience and they're stuck with an answer and they need some help. Or it just may be to connect and say hello or good morning, or just check in when you've logged into the dashboard. That's what we use it for internally at TAWK.
Okay, so I can ask Michelle to have a look at that. Can I set up a group there? And we make sure that every single VA is in that group.
Yeah, simple as new group, add all the VAs in there. Then you'll know if they're actively online by the green button, and they'll also be able to message each other. So if they're offline and you've tagged them, they'll come back in. They might see that. But if they're online, they should be able to see it on the left-hand side and be able to step in and respond. If they've missed anything, they can also back read when they log in as well, which is always nice.
Okay.
So
the client can't see that then, John. This is internal. This is internal. Yeah.
It's your dashboard. Yeah. It's only your dashboard.
Okay.
Well, to take them through the features that come with handling chats and looking at the functionality there, I'll probably need you to start a chat if you don't mind. That might be
please do. Please do. Yeah.
So go ahead. Do you want to start a chat on your?
Yeah. Where am I going here? If I go in here, I can start.
Probably go to the website and then just start it from there, I'd suggest.
Oh yeah, I could do. That's a good idea. All right, I go to the Multics website. Okay. I could do it from the phone, from a phone site as well, presumably. Yeah. So let's try that. So here we are on the Multics website. That's this chat button pops up.
And that was the sound that you received in the dashboard when you visited on the website. That was a little dip dip.
So we click on there.
Yep.
And clients can ask questions about products. We'll have a look at the knowledge base in a moment. It's enormous and it's growing. But for what we're doing now is starting a conversation. Yes. My name is William, blah, blah. That's John. Okay. We got some multiple choice stuff coming in here. So actually we probably need to add something more straightforward here as well, just general. But on this occasion, I'm interested in a phone site. So it's put in my WhatsApp number, start chat.
Have you got AI activated, Will?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So if we go to the dashboard now, AI is activated. The VAs aren't going to see the chat coming in because AI, as you saw, responds within half a second. So a couple of things we can do there, Will, and obviously we can talk about this offline, or you can take it away and make a decision. We can delay AI's response. So by delaying AI by 10 seconds or 20 seconds, it allows the notification to actually sound.
Okay.
It allows your VAs to take the chat if they choose to take the chat. But the most important thing is it allows the notification to sound. Otherwise, you're not going to get a notification, because it takes about 5 seconds for the notifications to engage and sound once.
Okay.
So by the time it sounded twice, Apollo will pick up, but at least your team will have heard it and then can decide whether they're picking it up or whether Apollo's doing it.
Wow. So Apollo is the TAWK name for the AI.
Yeah, sorry. What have you called yours?
The Lara's, which is there we are, Lara's virtual.
Lara's. Gotcha. Yeah. Obviously, you can call it whatever you like. So Lara's is on there and doing a good job. Answered before we could even hear it. If you want the agents to hear it, you're going to have to 7-second delay at the very least, if not 20.
Yeah.
If nobody answers it, they get it. Lara's takes over at 10 seconds, so it's not a long wait time, and it allows your team to see it and hear it. Now we can always, when we see it, we can always take over this. So I'm going to close the group we were looking at before. We can join the chat at any time here, team. So when you join the chat, it'll ask you, are you sure there's somebody already on there? And you can just say, yes, join, or no, don't join. So that is a way to override Lara's, or override even another team member if you need to. If you are not going to do that, but one of your team members has actually joined. So if Will's in chat speaking to this customer, and I see Will going through the motions, answering the chat, I might want to whisper him a message that will help him along his way, or let him know something that I think would help that conversation by pressing the whisper function and then typing in a whisper. So don't forget to mention the discount, as an example. The customer doesn't see that. It's in a different color. It's come from Will because he's taken over the chat. It's gone to Lara's in the stage, which obviously won't do anything with it. And then you can even respond on your end right here. Got it. Or, yep, about to do that, whatever it might be. But the chat is between agent to agent and completely hidden from the customer. Cannot be seen. Yeah. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the chat, and you can give me a question perhaps, so I can show the team how to use a couple of these functions. If you want to go into your website again and just type a chat in the widget or a question in the widget. Might be here. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we received the notification here. I have a question about the cost of a phone site. A couple of things that we can do here, team. Number one, we can activate the shortcuts and take a look as to whether or not there's anything in the shortcut. So I might say phone site, and the only thing that I've got here at the moment is something that says phone site subscription includes a biz card. So that's what we call the shortcuts or the canned responses. If that's not going to be the right response for that, I'll need to either go into the knowledge base and I'm going to look at the phone site here, see if there's something that comes up here. I'm spelling it right. Is it one word, Will, or is it a couple of words?
That's correct. Yeah.
Would there be something in the knowledge base to do with phone sites?
Yeah. Probably shop.
The shop link here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could then grab that and summarize it into the chat team in my own words. So I've got knowledge base accessible right in chat here, as you can see. So I'd never have to leave the chat and go to the help center page on another page. I can have it here in chat, and you'll even have this double screen when you are on multiple chats. So if you're handling 2, 3, 4 chats, it'll be the same thing. Okay, so Will just typed in another question there. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. And we'll have a bit of a look at that. Oh. Will, can you resize that screen for us?
What do you want me to do?
That screen seems to have gone inty-winty, small. Can you resize it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it in? Yeah, that's it. Can everyone still see that okay? I imagine.
We need to make it bigger than that. How do I do that then?
Just drag the corners, Will, right at the corner. Yeah, yeah.
No,
We can maximize it if you wish. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. So shortcuts are also here. So if you don't want to use the shortcut function, you can review all of the shortcuts here. There's only a couple at the moment, but as you guys start working on this, I'm sure we'll set up a ton of different shortcuts. So you've got those at your fingertips, and you can literally search for that here. But there is a phone site shortcut here, as you can see, so the knowledge base here.
VA set up there. So if this is kind of a self-learning model between of us, can the VAs actually set up new shortcuts?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. So there's a couple of different ways to do that. Obviously, if you want to add a new shortcut, you just go down here, and we could, we could then add phone site. Cost. Notice that in the naming convention, which is the name of the shortcut, it's good to put the whole context, sorry, of the question, so that it's going to find it easier next time. B, you have to hyphen it, so it has to be joined. That's just for the top section for the actual name, but for the message, for the response, it doesn't. So, Will, what would the answer be here, so we can set it up? What would the answer be to the first one? Have a question about the
for a phone site setup in sterling, it's £120 to set up, and then it's £25 a month subscription. Excuse me, I'm just going to turn off an alarm. That's off.
Trying to work out how to get the pound key. I might need Will to do that on his keyboard. We'll come back to that. For a phone site setup, the cost is £120, and I think he said $25 per month to maintain. Before I save it, I'll just ask him.
Okay.
Will, do you want to punch the pound sign in? Because
do you want me to?
I've only got the dollars on my keyboard. There you go. And is that right? For a phone site setup, the cost is £120 and £25 per month to maintain?
Yeah, it's a subscription, yeah.
To maintain. Okay. So we can save this and then you guys can always edit it, but just to show you how it would work. Once I've saved that shortcut will now appear. I've just added another one, double clicked it here in the phone site cost. So now if I am in chat with the customer who's asked me about the cost, I can either reference the shortcut and then copy that shortcut to chat, or by pressing the / key in chat, I can bring up the phone site by typing in the first couple of words and then click. Yeah, and then click it and send it straight from chat if I wanted to. The alternative, as I said to you guys earlier, is to use Smart Reply. So if I click this magic little button here, it will look at all the content that Will's created. And then it will actually pull this data from all of the stuff that Will's created right now. It'll tell you where it found the source of information. And before you send it, you can edit it accordingly. So that would be the other option, Will, if you want Smart Reply to be used and for the VAs to have content written for them. But
yeah,
then
I think that's what's going to happen because my view of the world, the client's view of the world, and the VA searching the client's view of the world need to be worked on. That is for sure. And as much information as I've put in there, there's thousands of hours of work that's gone in. It's only a skeleton, even now. It's still a skeleton.
Yeah, always work in progress. I mean, we've been building our help center for 9 years, and every week we add articles because there's always new questions that come in or new products that emerge, and you need to create content that people can use. So the team here on this call will really help in being able to fast track that, because you're at the forefront. You listen to a question, the answer isn't there. You can then go and find it and add it in shortcuts. Now, there's a different way to do that, because if you're not in chat, team, then you won't have the access to this screen here to be able to just click add shortcut. So you would go to administration. You would go to
what level? Because can agents go into and do this, or is this something that's got to be done by the management?
Good question, Phil. I don't know. I'll find out for you. I don't know if agents have access to create shortcuts. I know they definitely can create shortcuts from the chat. I've got to find out whether they can access this menu, because you can add shortcuts here in the settings menu in the same way that we did. So it's exactly the same screen that we just looked at. New shortcut, and then you would go ahead and create the shortcut in the way that we just showed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So back to the chat.
The shortcuts.
Yes.
Okay, so the shortcuts that we saw now does not have a special character. Does that mean that every time you type, for example, BizCard, then all that will pop up in the chat, or is it not necessary to add a unique identifier?
This is Apollo looking at everything from your web scrape through to the knowledge base and the articles you have in there, trying to summarize as best it can to respond to the question. This is not a shortcut, the part that I've highlighted here. This is Smart Reply. So if I went to shortcuts, the only thing I have in shortcut for BizCard is this here.
Okay.
And these are really the only response that I have in total for shortcuts at the moment.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. And that's where I think adding more shortcuts might be helpful to the agent who's there if they're not going.
That's it, yeah. But what the question really is, can the agents do it themselves? Because they're in the firing line. They come across something that they need to add. They can then add that straight away, and that's for for the greater good.
Yes, and I'll find out for you, Will, and I'll send you a WhatsApp message after the
Okay.
call. It'll take me 30 seconds to get that answer. Okay. I'm just asking somebody now, see if I can get it for you even quicker. Are they responding? I'll find out for you, Will. I won't keep everyone waiting. Let's
Thank
move
you.
on. So the other thing that I think is important here when it comes to chat is escalations, because there will come times where you can't answer the question because you just don't have the information, especially at the beginning when you're learning, or the information isn't really available. And so instead of guessing, which we obviously want to avoid doing it at all costs, you will need to raise an inquiry or an escalation, a ticket. So you go to this little function button here called create a ticket, and you can create a ticket directly from chat where you'll say something like in chat, and you should add a shortcut like this. It says, I'm sorry, I don't have this information right now. So if information is missing, you can say information unavailable. Click the shortcut. It pushes out a sentence that says something like, I'm sorry, I don't have this information right now. Let me grab your detail. I have your details because you've got a great pre-chat form there, Will. I have your details, and I'll have somebody from our management team reach out to you shortly. So then you create the ticket. So the ticket contact is Will. He's the guy that's in chat at the moment. Chat with Will is the subject, or you may want to change the subject line to requested pricing for the phone site. Yeah, it wasn't available. And then you just copy and paste the message here that Will messaged, and you can add context to it. And then basically you want to create that ticket. You want to create that escalation. So escalating will mean if I create this.
Yeah.
I'll show you so we can do a live example. Didn't have the phone site pricing. So the contact is Will. The email address is here. There's a chat. Wants to know, etc. And then I'll create the ticket here. The ticket ID is ticket 10. I can view the ticket now. If I come in to the dashboard, and I can respond. Now, if I go to tickets, there should be one ticket that's been opened for me. Chat with Will, ticket 10, it's opened. I'm going to click into that ticket, and I'm going to be able to reply to Will directly from the dashboard if I wish, or I will have received that in email as well, Will, so you can reply directly from your email if you wish as well. It's up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. The beautiful thing is that you're creating a contact here as well that then lives in your CRM and allows you to be able to export out for marketing purposes down the track if you want, if you've got a new product release or if you've got some great educational content you want to push out. If Will's in the contact list and you guys have collected all of the relevant information that you can, potentially collecting a phone number here, job title, whatever it might be, the more you have, the better the CRM is, and Will can use that down the track to be able to retarget, remarket, and reach out. Well, a lot of the other stuff in TAWK is obviously customization based. It's administration based. It's not really something that I believe a VA will do. It'll be Michelle or yourself typically doing it, managing that part. And you've done lots and lots of work behind the back end already to set that up. What else?
That's one of our younger VAs.
I was about to say it sounds like Morris is doing the call, but that'd be a bit rude.
Tanith? Ah. Can you mute Tanith? I think it might be Tanith. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you.
I'm back. Apologies,
okay.
everyone.
That's all right.
Sorry about that. Good old internet in Italy.
Yeah, we had a junior member. That was brilliant. Making the contribution.
Go ahead, please. I'm all ears. Sorry, I asked a question and heard nobody reply. So, go ahead.
Right. So you want me to reply?
Oh no, sorry, Will. The question was that in its high level is what I believe an agent, even with our own chat team, our VAs do or have access to when they're in the dashboard. This is the part they have access to. All the great behind the scenes stuff, you have access to it. Michelle, who set it up, customized it, changed the wording, make it look and feel the way it is. I believe the VAs aren't probably going to write the knowledge base articles yet. So
I see. Okay.
Let me know what else would be of value to everybody on this call. Is there any questions that I can help with from what you would need daily?
Okay. Yeah, so we can feedback collectively, because what I want to create inside our group is a self-learning group, if you like. And that's dependent on us all sharing information, feeding information back to Michelle, so we can go back in and make changes in the hierarchy higher up or even lower down. But I want to enable, if I can, all VAs to manage this on the fly as they need to moving forward, to make improvements for themselves and for others.
Great. So I'll find out about those shortcuts, because I know that will help.
Massive. Yeah.
I know that you can all do it from chat, but I want to find out whether you can add them post chat, because that'll be important.
Yeah.
You'll come across a lot of questions as this goes live. The answer is yes. Agents can add shortcuts from anywhere on the dashboard. So I got a response then, which is perfect.
So what about the longevity and of a ticket when it's raised? How do we manage tickets thereafter?
What we typically do, Will, is we have a dedicated team to that. That would be the team that look at tickets. So if they are part of that team, wish to set it up, or if it's whoever's on, first point of call is to deal with tickets, because it's customers waiting. Then you simply, and I might need to request control again, Will, because it dropped me.
Okay.
You simply go to the little inbox here with tickets. I'm just going to close that for a second. And then I'm going to go to tickets. It'll tell me how many tickets are open. So there's been some tickets here that have actually been dealt with and closed. This one remains open. So that's the one you guys are handling. You'll see the didn't have phone site pricing, wants to know, etc. I can reply, or I can escalate the answer, create the shortcut here.
Yeah.
Ticketing. So that the next time somebody handles that, they'll have the response. And then really from there, I will need to look at moving the ticket
Oh,
from
I
open
see.
to pending,
Yeah.
and then pending to closed.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay. No, that's really clever stuff. Right. So the knowledge base itself, if we kind of covered, is that the main area that we've covered there? For ladies, have you got any questions? Gentlemen? Anything you want to see John explain again, or?
Yeah. That's what I think our AAs tend to know and get training on at the beginning. Then, beyond that, a knowledge base is accessible here, even in ticketing. So if there's information there that they can use to respond to the ticket, they have access to the knowledge base directly in chat. Alternatively, Will, and again, I don't know if you're going to necessarily request that they do this, but they can create knowledge base articles. Again, that comes down to perhaps having a little bit more of your input there rather than creating.
I have got a question that Michelle and I have got this right. When we publish, we either publish publicly or we publish privately. And the idea of publishing privately is that the VAs or anybody who's logged in can look at documentation, but Joe Public can't see that. So that's that's how we set it up. So if you go to visibility and go to private.
Yeah, you've locked a couple of them there, I see.
Have we?
Yeah, you've got a couple that are private here.
There should be quite a few. There should be 40 or 50 in there that are.
Oh, right. There might be. Sorry, only on the screen. So they all are. Yeah.
So these are all private, and we're going to continue to grow this, obviously. But I just want to make sure that VAs can see that, and that I haven't misunderstood how they have access to it.
Yeah, they won't be able to see it in the chat because it's private, so they don't have access, and you don't want them to have access to it in chat because you're not using it for your general public.
No, this is just for our internal training and sharing.
Yeah, and that would be where I would suggest you're giving the VAs obviously a link to your knowledge base here, Will, and obviously the URL for that, but it's under channels.
Yeah.
And then knowledge base.
Yeah.
And this is your multics.help, talk.help. That's your knowledge base there.
So when a VA is logged in, they can access the documentation that we've published privately through this dashboard.
Yeah, they can access. They can even access it as long as you've given somebody the URL here. I believe is the case. So.
Okay.
Let me. I know what you're asking, Will. You're saying if an article is published privately, does anyone with the URL for the help center have access to that?
Yeah, so they've logged into the chat room, and they want access to internal documentation. They can get to it through this dashboard because they're logged in. That's my question, really.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Just ask that question. I'll get back to.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want it available in the public site that you've got here, because that's public to whoever's on. Whoever's on this page, be it users that are looking for some more information, case studies, etc.
Okay.
Yes, I'll come back to you on how the accessibility works. I've asked the question whilst we're in chat, and I'll get an answer for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Here's a silly question. Tom might be interested in this, but the header banner there, I've never been able to do it properly. Has it got specific dimensions?
Yeah, I thought I told you that before. It
Yeah.
took me and John a little while to work that one out, but
I think
I'll
you worked
send.
it out, Tom, which is
Oh,
pretty
well,
good.
well, yeah, you gave me a clue and then I worked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realised. Yeah, I'll find the email and then send you the dimensions. Will.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, it has to be to stop it tiling. You mean?
Yeah, just need to put a Multics header banner there.
Yeah.
There's no rush. It's only been like it for about 7 years, don't worry. I've never whipped it out.
Don't tell me not to rush, Will, because I won't.
No, it's a soup maker. Great. Okay.
see.
So, no questions from anybody, or if you want to type questions, or put it into the chat, that's fine, or into our WhatsApp chat. That's fine.
Also,
But
welcome to reach out to me at any time, Will. We've got the world's easiest email if they have any personal questions that they need some help with.
yeah,
If you're confident, if you're comfortable with that, they can reach out to me directly. It's up to you.
that's fabulous. All right, John, thank you. Michelle, can you sort that, make sure everybody's got access to John? Thank you. Right, the other thing was I forgot what it was. I think we pretty much covered what we need to do in one session. Because at the end of the day, just so that everybody's really aware of the importance of this, when we start sending 20 messages a day through My Most Trusted, that's when this thing is going to begin to light up. We don't know how quickly it's going to light up and how bright it's going to light up, but I'm suspicious it will become like a Christmas tree. And when we get to this point, there's two really important things that are happening. One is that we're sending out the messages, and we're generating leads. For them to become prospects, there's a huge difference between a lead and a prospect, just so that we know. You can have 1,000 leads and just one prospect within there. And what we're going to do is we're going to if you like, through questions and through actions and interactions, people who aren't interested in Multics. So we should be cross funnel of people who are really interested. It might be they're interested in our green, how we can reduce electricity, how we can reduce the hosting costs. And they might be small companies who've got a small budget to set up. It could be people who really do want to get onto the phone. They want to look at apps and that kind of thing. Well, they're going to come here in the chat room. They're coming through all our phone sites. Every VA will have a company phone site. It'll come to the main phone site, and it'll come directly off My Most Trusted. So it's critically important that we're manning this 24/7 in 3 daylight zones. So South Africa is fantastic because that covers kind of Europe and United Kingdom, etc. We're going to have a time zone, probably New Zealand area and Malaysia area. So that should be up and running certainly by Christmas or next year. And the idea is that there are people in here. They log in every day. They are VAs who are focused on looking to help clients, but also generate new business, not only for the company, but for themselves. So I see this chat room as the most important piece of provision that the company can give VAs to make this work for our clients. And I'm absolutely convinced this is the way forward for us as a company and for VAs to really provide the support and make the money that they want to in the future. So thank you, John, for showing that to us. It's been absolutely fascinating. Anybody got any more questions? Or
I'll put the banner dimensions in the chat for you, Will.
say that again, Tom?
I put the banner dimensions in the chat for you.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you know,
So
my
skills.
my artistic skills. Yeah, okay. I think actually John sent it the other. I just forgot to do it, but now I'm looking at it. Yeah, okay. So there it is. So everything's set up. I've got one silly question for me, John. My under my administration, because I set this up years ago, it's not using admin at Multics, it's using my private email address. Can I change that, or is there a problem if I change that?
No, it shouldn't be a problem. It's all in your profile here, Will. So
Okay.
edit the profile, and then that's the email you're using, and you're absolutely right. It's using your private your Gmail email. If you want your multi email, then you can go in and edit that there.
That won't affect my login at all or anything. That's my question.
No, because your passwords will be the same, and you've given it your new email.
Okay. Thank you very much, John, for your time. That's absolutely invaluable. I've made my apologies for Morris today. Morris couldn't join us. He's going to a show today, but I'm sure he'll be watching this recording and smiling. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And yeah, we'll do this again, don't you worry. But this recording will go into the back office. So yeah, please share with fellow VAs, and let's start the process of getting this technology in place for us to make money.
All the best. Good luck with everything, guys, and reach out if I can help.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, John.
Happy Friday, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.